He continued to work there at the Salvation Army until May 12, 2007. He did not pass his UA test. They determined that he had used marijuana and was let go. He told us he quit the job, so we did not realize he was using again. And up to this point, Casey had called me every day. We agreed that that was one way that I would know he was staying sober, and he agreed with that. So we talked every single day, and he was usually the one that called me. Shortly after he quit working at the Salvation Army, he quit calling every day. My husband and I suspected that he started using again. I know many of you can probably relate to this. My husband and Casey went back to hair school full-time and started working part-time as a valet. September 27, 2007, around 2:00 a.m., according to a private investigator that my husband and I hired, Casey had been drinking beer and had taken a Xanax. He then went to do heroin with two friends. When I say friends, please know that I'm saying that word in quotes, and I will say that throughout. He had shot up twice and didn't really want the third shot, but one of his friends pushed him to take the third shot. "Let's finish it up," he said. The time was 5 a.m. Once this happened, Casey was in distress. He stood up, staggered to the couch, fell on the couch, face up, and started very heavy breathing, snoring very, very loudly. He was having difficulty breathing. The first friend knew something was wrong with him. Again, this is 5:00 in the morning. She told the other friend that they needed to help him. The other friend said, "I've had that happen to me before while doing heroin. He will be okay." Around 5:30 a.m., she insisted that Casey needed help. She begged the friend to help give him CPR. He said he didn't know how and did not help her. She was not strong enough to push on his chest. Two other people showed up and put him in the shower to try to bring him to. Later, one of the two that showed up to Casey's apartment decided to shoot him up with an amphetamine to try to revive him. Then, for some reason, and I think it's a wives' tale, I'm not sure, they shot him up with milk. Nothing seemed to be working. 2 hours and 40 minutes later, 911 was called, but not by anyone in the apartment. One of his friends grabbed his stuff and ran before the medics came because he could not be there. He said he couldn't be there when they showed up. In fact, none of his friends were with him when he died. We won't know the cause of his death until a toxicology report is released. If his friends had done the right thing and called 911 at 5 a.m. when he went into distress, he may have been saved. Unfortunately, we will never know. About a week after Casey died, I called Judge Crusoe. I told him that I wanted to tell Casey's story to the folks in the Divert program. Maybe it would strike a chord with someone currently in the program. Perhaps this story would help them to make better choices about who they hang around and choose not to do drugs or alcohol. Let me close the story with a few thoughts. Number one, life is about choices. You have complete control over your choices. Casey chose to do drugs. Number two, dying from an overdose can happen to you. Surprisingly, it may not be the overdose that kills you. It may be that the friends you are with Don't call 911 when you do overdose, because they're too concerned about their own well-being. Number 3, your real friends that know you have an addiction don't drink alcohol and do drugs with you. Casey no longer feels pain, but in his wake he left behind a beautiful baby girl who will be raised without a daddy. He also left behind a family and many friends who loved him dearly. Those of you that are graduating tonight, and those of you that are going to be graduating down the road, you will be faced with making a choice of staying sober or continuing to use. When you are faced with this choice and need help in doing the right thing, please think of Casey. Thank you.